Jaguars. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone, and he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He finds Coleman. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A first down carry by Elliott. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Here we go, 46.
2nd down, Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Taco Charlton In there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, and go ahead and do it.
The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Prescott to throw it. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. 3rd and long for Prescott. He's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie. On second down, here's Fournette. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Bortles going to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A big third down play there for the Jags. 49 yards. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Tackle that time by Roddy Harrison. Well, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll have a first down past the 40. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Lucy. Green 80. 11B. Green 80. 11B, 11B.
On second down, here's Bortles. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Lucy. 11.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
He wasn't ready.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Right. 72. Hank.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
11B.
Now Bortles. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to go up top over the middle, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10.
Switch and 8. Here we go, 46.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Prescott now on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Airing it out for Hurns. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field, and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge.
And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. To throw, it's Bortles. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's Bortles. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. On first down, Bortles forced out to his left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Lucy. Lucy. Move.
Now Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
He'll try to throw now. Prescott being chased out left. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and just like that, it's third down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Here we go, 46, 46.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He'll check this one off to Fournette. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jalen Smith in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They do go for it. It's Bortles. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Again, it's Elliott. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looking to throw. Prescott. It's caught right side. It turns. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Lambeau to add on the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Prescott from the gun. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Telvin Smith able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
46.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him for a loss of 6. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll run it again with Fournette. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Jaguars on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. The pitch to Fournette. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Hey, 54, Ricky.
Here's Fournette. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Drops it underneath to Elliott. Give him 6 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Here's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll throw again. Prescott buying time to his left. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Prescott on 1st down. Steps away to his left. A dump off to Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. Prescott yet again. That escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Telvin Smith in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Prescott on 3rd and goal. Fights him off. Out to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Telvin Smith able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. They begin with a run by Fournette. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down at the 18. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Bortles going to throw here. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Punch right, punch right, punch right.
On third down, Fournette. And some space here. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. The Jags do snap it. It's Bortles. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Bortles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hank. Hey, 54, Ricky. Throw left. Lucy.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jags, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Dallas, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.